G'day, Scotty and Paul here from The Hook and the Cook. Paul's taking the kids out today and caught us some beautiful carp, and he's going to show us how to smoke them.
So the first thing we need to do before we even think about smoking this fish is basically to brine the fish. So I've got a handful of salt and a handful of sugar. And I've thrown it in with some water. And I've marinated it for about, 6 hours. Okay? Next thing we need to do is dry the fish. Basically, just let it drip dry. Now I've pre-oiled these bars, and what I'm going to do is lay the fish across the bars. It makes it a little bit easier. We left the skin on to release the fish after it's been smoked. One more on here. Perfect temperature here in Mudgee. You know, this is going to be, it'll just air dry. Now, let's say, for example, you're in a hotter climate, then we're not going to leave it out like this. We're going to pop it in the fridge, just on a drip tray, and let it dry. And it'll get a beautiful little shine on it. And then we're ready to smoke. Okay, let's talk about the smoker. Very basic. All I've got here is some hickory wood chips. Also, I've soaked some in some red wine. Hey, Cabernet soaked wood chips sounds really cool, and that's what I've done. I'm going to throw them in there. What that helps is the wood chips not to burn too quickly and helps them smoke. Also infuses the carp a little bit, I suppose. So we're going to throw those in there. Now what we need to do is put a little bit of heat. This is where our heat's going to come from. This is where our smoke's going to come from. So what I need to do is basically get Scotty to come in here and get me some beautiful coals here, and I'm going to place these on the coals. Thanks, Scott. Pop them in there, mate. Lovely. Okay, these are hot enough now to get these chips smoking. Beautiful, mate. If you can just flatten them down a little bit. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to put them down. Try and get it level if you can. Now, if you don't have hot coals like this, what you can do, we have something called methylated spirits. There's little burners that you can put underneath, and you'll still get the same effect. Just so we're out in the bush at the moment, and this is just the way we work. So, hey, let's get them smoking. We're going to pop our lid on now. Once that starts to smoke, then I'm going to pop my beautiful carp in there, and we're going to smoke it. Okay, how I know I'm ready to start smoking is a little hole in the smoker at the top here, and you can see the smoke's starting to come all the way through here. So she's ready to go. So what we're going to do is just close that hole, like so, and I'm going to grab a tea towel because everything's starting to get quite hot now. So we're going to take this off. You should have build up a little bit of smoke starting to happen. Okay, just have a look around. It's starting to smoke a little bit. So in we go with our carp, and that's our bottom layer just there. And then we've got our top layer. These smokers are absolutely fantastic. They're all purpose built. I'm just going to click that guy in there. Okay, now we've got to put our lid on here. The coals are burning away absolutely perfect. And we're going to give that, approximately maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Basically, once the flesh of the carp starts to fall away from the bone, we know it's ready. I'm going to probably about halfway through, I'm going to throw a little bit of this red wine on here, otherwise Scott gets a bit upset if I don't use the red wine. So I'm going to toss that over the top of the carp, and I'll just give it a little bit of flavour and also stop it from drying out. Okay, let's check how this carp's going. Well, she's just starting to break away. That looks good. So what I'm going to do is throw a little bit of red wine on here. Okay, tiny bit, not too much, just a little bit, because that makes Scotty happy that I've actually used the red wine in this dish. And also the next thing I'm going to do, and the other thing is just be very careful with the lid that you don't put it in the coals, because it'll go on, and we call that bush pepper in the old bush. Next thing we're going to do is actually put some real pepper on here. So on she goes with a bit of pepper. So we're going to give this another 5 to 10 minutes. Now this taken probably around about 45 minutes, being quite a big fish, and we're doing it over coals, and it's taken a little bit more time than what I expected, but it's really starting to smoke up absolutely beautiful. When we come back, we're going to taste it. Okay, hey, the proof's in the pudding. Let's see how good my smoked carp really tastes. All right, Scotty, You ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready to test it, yeah.
It's looking pretty good.
I think it looks good.
And I'll tell you right now, it's as good as smoked salmon. Because you know why?
As good as smoked salmon, you reckon?
I reckon it is. You know why? Because it's an oily fish, okay? And there we go. It's all falling apart. It's an oily fish. Okay, we put a bit of salt in there. Just because it's a river fish. You need to put a little bit of flavour into it. Let's have a taste. Tell me what you think. And be honest to the viewers up there. Let's be honest. It's falling apart.
It is falling apart. Seriously, really good. Now, carp is a rubbish fish in the rivers, but I tell you what, do it in a smoker, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It is really, really good.
There you go, guys. Carp. Start smoking it and start enjoying it.
Look at that, beautiful.